MANDIBUZZ is such a beast in this current meta. I'm using the same team as yesterday because honestly, it does so well for me and I'd rather stick with something that actually works. And I want to show you guys a team that actually works. So with this matchup, with the lead, I ended up swapping out to Magnezone. It was an Azumarill. I know I hard counter it, but I just didn't feel like bringing in my MANDIBUZZ. And my opponent responds with bringing out a Shadow Glider. I think it takes about like 8 wing attacks to get to be able to get to the dig, and I just felt like that's what they were gonna go ahead and do, and I went ahead and shielded perfectly. Now I'm going to get shields, right? So far I'm playing very smart with this matchup. They end up shielding, and I was hoping to maybe be able to get to another mirror shot, but I couldn't. And I do apologize, guys, if you see like flash canning on the left there. Mirror shot is the way to go. I just haven't edited yet. I know I need to. And I was able to shield another dig. So I'm now was able to get so much energy. And I almost built up to 2 wild charges against this Lickitung. Now, maybe I could have gone ahead and swapped that to MANDIBUZZ. I totally forgot in the back of my head that they might have been able to get to the Power Whip, which they do. But you know what? It's okay. Since it's not stab, we don't get taken out, but it actually did a lot more damage than I thought it would. We're gonna go ahead and just do dynamic punches, and the opponent is gonna start realizing that since we're resisting these bubbles, they're gonna have to throw, right? They're gonna have to throw, and they do play rough. And now we're gonna go ahead and bring in MANDIBUZZ, which is key. And I know they can go ahead and play rough us, but we're at such a huge advantage that it really doesn't matter. And if you guys haven't already, please leave a like and also hit that subscribe button, guys. We're doing incredible this month with subs, and I really appreciate everybody. We're gonna get to this air lace right here, and even if they take me out, I don't know if that was CMP or not. I don't believe so, because Azu does win CMP. I believe they just they didn't manage to throw just yet, and they realize it's over, so they concede the match. GG's. Now, huge horrible plays for this matchup. Just to let you guys know, I don't know the counts to double, and I'll have to know. I think this was just 4 counters, and wow, such a bad shield there. It killed me. And right here, I think they got to a Shadow Ball that was like 4 or 5 hexes. I need to see the counts for these Pokemon because it has kicked me in the butt. And right there, I should have just thrown to get a shield. I'm pretty sure they would have wanted to get and switch back, and man, that just killed me so bad, guys. Horrible playing right there. But I can't show you guys a perfect set all the time, and you guys could go ahead and learn from that mistake. I should have at least thrown 1 wild charge because I would have possibly been able to get a shield, or maybe they might have chosen not to shield, but I'm pretty sure they would have shielded. But at least that way we would have been like 1-1 in shields, right? And now they have 2 shields. Now they're looking so good. They're bringing in the Medicham, and we just weren't able to align our Pokemon the way we wanted to. Very winnable match. Just falls through our fingers right there. But I'm doing my best to see if I can win it. But I really don't. But I'm just kind of just playing it out just in case I might have been able to. And we're gonna go ahead and do Ice Punches. They realize we don't got something that's hard hitting like a Scald, but it's all good. We're gonna go ahead and do the Ice Punch. I was hoping that they shield this right here, but they don't. And I was hoping that I won CMP, and unfortunately that's not the case. Medicham does win CMP. They're able to do a power-up punch there. I think honestly the way to go was maybe to just farm down at that point. We do manage to get a shield though, but again we CMP there. I should have just thrown. So I don't know if I would have been able to win, to be honest. But you know what? Nah. I mean, we definitely probably could have won had we played a lot better. I have to see the move counts. Very important, guys, because it makes matches so much easier. Moving on to the next match, we're going against a Superior. So what I did with this matchup, I do stay in with the Poliwrath only to be able to unload the Ice Punch. I saw that they weren't throwing right away. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to Ice Punch. And this is when I actually, so I swap out to my, not the hard counter, but I go ahead and swap out to more of a neutral matchup, which is the Magnezone, which baits out the fighter, which is going to be the Poliwrath. And now I go down, but at least I get 1 volt switch in there. And now we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna bring back my Poliwrath because I don't really feel like taking an Ice Punch, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get to an Ice Punch here. And in case this was Dynamic Punch, I'm gonna go ahead and just use 1 shield. Turns out it was just Scald, and I'm like, chances are they don't have what do you call? They're not gonna have Dynamic Punch and Scald. And I was gonna go ahead and see if I can take them out from this range, but they go ahead and shield. And at this point, I'm like, I'm not gonna invest a shield. I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take the Scald, right? And we're gonna go ahead and now bring in Mandibuzz. I'm just gonna go ahead and save Poliwrath if maybe we might need a catch. And now they're gonna go ahead and bring in Sandslash, and this is insane. We're a shield up, and you're gonna be able to see just how good Mandibuzz is. Those Ice Punches aren't really doing much. Alolan Sandslash isn't the hardest hitting Pokemon, so we're gonna go ahead and Dark Pulse. And based on how much damage we did there, I'm like, dude, we're looking good. And they just didn't throw. They made a mistake. They should have thrown, right? It allows us to CMP, and because of that, this Dark Pulse, I'm like, from this range, we should be able to take it out, and we do. Bye-bye to Alolan Sandslash, and now we're bringing the Serperior, and I'm like, man, I'm just a little worried. I know it has Aerial Ace, but Mandibuzz is so tanky. Look at that. It beats that Aerial Ace. And now they're going to go ahead and dope more energy. I know this is just another Aerial Ace, but dude, look at that. We go ahead and take that like a champ. And now we're going to go ahead. I'm just going to do I ended up just doing my Aerial Ace of my own. Boom. And we take out the Serperior, dude. Mandibuzz is just such a beast and very clutch in that match. Moving on to the next one. So we have an amazing lead. And Umbreon, I cannot lose this. So I'm going to go ahead and stay in. I'm thinking they might have Psychic. They end up having a Lantern, and before I decide to switch to my Magnezone, right, because we're not going to switch to the Mandibuzz, I get the Dynamic Punch off, and now I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Magnezone. We're going to go ahead and use the shield. It's going to be Surf, and they're almost built up to another one. I honestly probably, I want to get a shield. Kind of, this is what I'm trying to do. So I go ahead and shoot it, but they don't shield it, and they live. So I'm like, dang, this is so annoying. I'm going to go ahead and just bank on this Magnezone because I can't afford to lose switch. They bring in the Medicham, and now we can at least get a shield here, right? We get a shield back with the Wild Charge. I get 1 volt switch in before I get taken out. And now we're going to go ahead and now align our Mandibuzz to the Medicham, but we're going to go ahead and wait for the timer to run out. So that way the switch clocks are aligned. And now we're going to go ahead and take what I think might be a possible Ice Punch. It ends up being a Power Punch, so maybe they're running Power Punch Psychic, probably, since they swapped out to the Umbreon. And now I'm thinking, dude, please, if this is a Psychic, don't let it take me out. And we managed to live it. Let's freaking go. We managed to live it, and because we resist those Snarls, we're gonna reach this Dynamic Punch. And it ends up forcing a shield out of them, and they're gonna realize that they're gonna have to throw energy. I almost got to the Ice Punch, and I believe we would have won TMP regardless. Now we're sitting really good now with the Mandibuzz because they're gonna go ahead and throw. We resist the Psychic, we resist the Foul Play. So we're gonna take this Foul Play like a champ, and I know that I'm gonna need to build like two Aerial Aces comfortably to go against the Medicham. So my play was we're gonna go ahead and Aerial Ace and farm down. Right? They're gonna go ahead and throw more energy, trying to get us down. We're gonna go ahead and just begin to farm down, right? And now I am a little worried because I'm like, I hope we're not in like some Ice Punch range, but we were able to build to the back-to-back Aerial Ace, which is key for us. They're not buffed anymore, and we do CMP here. And I'm like, please don't let this be enough to be able to take us out with an Ice Punch. Ended up just being a Power Punch, and we're gonna go ahead and seal the deal with this last Aerial Ace. Let's freaking go. That is the power of Mandibuzz in this current meta. It is freaking awesome. We're going to go ahead and move on to, I think this is the last and final match. I believe I do lose this one, unfortunately, which is a little bit rough. I shouldn't have swapped out right away. I should not have swapped out right away. I should have at least figured out if this Alolan Ninetales was the Powder Snow or the Charm version. And they ended up being Powder Snow, so I probably could have just stayed in with the Poliwrath to at least be able to dish out a Dynamic Punch and possibly get a shield. We're going to go ahead and not shield this, and we're going to go ahead and now kind of force the shield out of the opponent based on how much the last Aerial Ace did, and we do manage to get it. Now, I'm like, can we reach another airlace? Unfortunately, we don't. My MANDIBUZZ is more of an attacker because it's max attack. Maybe if we had like the more like the rank 1 or somewhere rank 50, maybe we might have actually reached that airlace, which would have been insane. They now go ahead and we take that Dazzling Gleam, and it did so much damage, but I couldn't afford to shield. And they're gonna go ahead and it's gonna be so close. It's such a close matchup, guys. And really, what's still the deal? Because I was still playing. I kind of messed up in the beginning, but I was starting to take back the match just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead. I know I have the bait here, and I lost track of how close I was to getting to Dynamic Punch here. That look what ends up happening. They do get to a serve, but with that counter that just snuck in, I think that was enough to get us a Dynamic Punch, and it was. But I end up tapping one. I tap one more time, which results in getting Spark to come in, and now we're just don't have enough in the tank to farm down this Scrafty. And I think had I thrown that Dynamic Punch, I would have been able to win. But it is what it is, guys. Sometimes you have to make those split decisions, and sometimes you don't make the right ones. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you decide to use a team, let me know in the comment section, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.